with Jeff Goldblum and Alana Glazer. And sometimes our worst moments in life can bring out the best in us and other people. It's something my next guest understands very well. Last year, he nearly died. A truck slammed into him while he was riding his bike. He survived, but not without serious injuries, one he's still recovering from. Remarkably, he refused to carry any anger or resentment toward the driver. That's remarkable. That's why I said remarkably. Here to tell the story are Tom and his wife, Jenette. So it is remarkable, that level of forgiveness. But start us off at the beginning. Like, what happened?
Well, I'm an avid cyclist. I have been my whole life. I was out on my normal Saturday ride. I was riding along Pacific Coast Highway, which is along the ocean. It's a beautiful ride and something I've been doing since high school. And while I was riding along, I got hit from behind by a pickup truck. I didn't know it was a pickup truck at the time. I found out later, but I don't remember anything about being hit. The next thing I knew, I was laying on the ground and people were around me asking me questions. I was giving them her contact information and loaded up in an ambulance and taken to the hospital. And once I got to the hospital, they were trying to figure out how to keep me alive. So,
And then I got this phone call from a girl on my husband's phone, and she said she was from the hospital. They had your husband here. He's alert. He's answering questions to the doctors. And so I got to the hospital as fast as I could. Prayed all the way there because it's like, okay, I don't know what's going on, but God does, and we'll figure it out when we get there. When we got there, there were people surrounding his bed, and they were talking about stuff happening in his brain, swelling in there, internal bleeding. His pelvis was shot, his right knee, all the ligaments were gone.
Oh my gosh.
And lots of abrasions and road rash. And they said if it weren't for his helmet, he probably wouldn't have even been there.
I get so mad when I see people without helmets on, like no matter what it is. I'm like, do you not like your life? Because it might not be you that makes a mistake, but somebody else, you know, like this situation.
I see people all the time, you know, a guy's got a ball cap on, you think that's going to help you?
No. I agree.
Seatbelts
as well. I know, people that don't ride, I'm like, what? I love my life. I'm always buckled up. I don't want to go out like that. What pulled you to contact the driver? Because a lot of people would either just want to forget it ever happened or just hold a level of anger that they weren't able to accomplish what they were able to accomplish for it. What made you call?
Well, you know, this is a little fuzzy for me because, you know, early on I was kind of out of it, but I do remember being concerned about the driver. I mean, first of all, I didn't even know if it was a hit and run or what. But
yeah. I love that you were concerned about the driver.
Yeah. Well,
I need your heart.
You know, I have a unique ability to put myself in the other person's position.
Yeah.
And I can't imagine seeing that. You know, I didn't see it. I got hit from behind.
Yeah.
And he turned back and there I was and he hit me and he saw the whole thing. I can't imagine how devastating that would be on a person. So I wanted to let him know I was okay. I didn't have any anger.
I don't think I've ever heard anyone in this scenario be like, I was just curious. I mean, if they were okay. Like, what? That's you've got such a great heart.
Well, it's life. Accidents happen, you know, and I wasn't going to be angry about it because anger is just self-destructive.
I mean, is he not the best human ever? Like, I mean, so why were you specifically just so willing to forgive the situation? I know the accidents happen, but that's a lot of forgiveness. Like,
well, you know, first of all, you know, I don't like to hang on to angerness and bitterness. You know, that's just not who I am. And again, I have so many good things in my life. Why would I want to remain bitter and angry?
You don't want to keep that. Yeah. I think what's really important to know that the forgiveness isn't just about the other person, it's about you. It's about letting that go, letting any anger go or resentment. And it's like if you hold on to that, it destroys your life.
Yeah.
You know? So I loved you having you on this show because not to bring up, you know, anything bad for you, but just to remind people and inspire people what to do, you know, in that situation. Because we don't always choose the right path and we all make mistakes and, you know, that can happen. But could y'all forgive someone that easily? They hit you with a car, I'm just saying.
I mean, even just to see the perspective of what that person saw, to think about being in their eyes is amazing. I don't know what I would do. I'm so impressed and inspired.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
I was just living my life, doing the right thing.
Jenette and Tom, after you reached out, what happened?
Well, I actually, it took me about 5 days to find his phone number. I had to get the police report. We didn't know that he didn't know, we didn't know what he knew. So I called, as soon as I got the police report, I texted him, and he texted back like a split second later. I think he was sitting on his phone. Found out from his girlfriend later on that he couldn't eat or sleep or work. He was so distraught. He was distraught over what he had done. Yeah. And from that point on, we've kind of become kind of buddies, would you say? He set up a GoFundMe page.
Oh my gosh.
For the medical expenses that we couldn't cover. He came and retrofitted one of our bathrooms so Tom could get in there more easily when he could get in ours. So, yeah.
Well, all right. Well, Jack is here. Let's meet him. Come on out, Jack. What's up, man? Nice to see you. Come on over here.
Doing good.
Oh, yeah.
Have a seat. Looking sharp, Jack. I like your shoes. So hearing from them was really significant for you. Can you explain to everyone?
You know, growing up, I had some challenges and made a lot of bad choices that carried into my adulthood. Mm-hmm. And it accumulated about 3 years ago when I ended up homeless and addicted to drugs. And yeah, so I decided to make some life changes, and I got into recovery head first, and just...
Hey, congratulations on that. That's hard. That is hard.
Yeah, it's hard, but it's better.
Yeah.
It's better, but it's hard. And so, you know, 2 years into my recovery, I happened to be leaving a 12-step meeting while I was driving down PCH, and this happened. Yeah. I was on my way home from a meeting, and, you know, this accident happened, and, I was so distraught for, like, days. I didn't know what happened. I tried to call the police department. They wouldn't return my calls. I called the hospital. They wouldn't tell me anything. So for, like, I would say about 5 days, I didn't know what happened. And I couldn't work for 5 days, and I finally went back to work, and I was on my lunch break, and I get a text message saying, "Hey, Jack, this is Jenette, Tom's wife, the guy you hit. And we've been praying for you. We've been trying to get in contact with you. And we've been praying for you and hope that you're okay. And Tom's going to be okay." And I broke down, and just like, that was the last thing I expected to hear. Yeah. But that they were worried about me, you know? Yeah. And,
it's the last thing we all expected to hear. Like, they got really great heart. You hit like the most amazing human ever. Yeah. Like, I mean, maybe that's how y'all were supposed to meet.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you have something you wanted to say, right?
I don't think you guys know how many lives you affected. Like, my life, and personally, as, you know, I made a lot of bad choices growing up. I've always ran from problems, and if this would have been 3 years prior to me being clean, I probably would have ran out of fear. But you've taught me that I could walk through, take responsibility, walk through things, and that I'm going to be okay, and I don't have to return to bad habits. And I share your story in my meetings, and you guys affect everybody that has heard this story in more ways than you know, and just the way you dealt with it. And I'm just so grateful that you're in my life.
I mean, I know, Tom, you're just living your life, being awesome, but but no, it really is. I mean, not only the people he just said in his meetings, but anybody watching this is going to be really impacted by your heart and really make us think every time something happens. How does that make you feel?
Well, we firmly believe that God's in control, and bad things happen to everybody, and the bottom line is, how do you respond to what happens? It's
the reaction is character.
Yeah, exactly.
This is all God.
It changed your life.
God changed me. You know, and I couldn't be more
It's an amazing
pleased
testimony.
than to have the life that I have.
Wow. I mean, is this not, I'm bawling. Do you just feel like I need to up the bar for myself as a human? I feel like I do y'all?
That's such a beautiful story. Thank you for sharing it. And also to be open to receiving someone reaching out. I mean, that's just really layered and hard. And It's really strong of all of you.
Thank you.
Very, very beautiful.
Yeah. And I feel like there's so many divided things happening right now in the world, and that's why I like this show, and I want to bring people out here that really inspire us and show us the good parts of humanity. There are some really good people out there on every side, and and I love that y'all just showed us what a really good, strong heart is. And I mean you as well, like all that you've overcome. And like she said, answering. A lot of people would have not answered and been like, oh, I changed my number.
Yeah.
Like, that because you don't want to have to face that. You don't have to face what you did, you know?
Yeah.
It's a really beautiful thing.
For many years, I didn't do the right thing, and it was a chance for me to do the right thing. So.
Wow. Well,
Yeah.